Hi, and welcome back to my Learn Tarot series, where I teach you every day about the upright and reverse meanings of each card as well as the symbolism. Today we're going to be going over Major Arcana 1, or the Magician, in the upright position. If you want to keep learning tarot, give me a follow because we go through a new card every day. Okay, so let's start. Now with the Magician upright, I want you to think of the Magician more like a student. The Magician is represented by Mercury, the planet of communication, adaptability, and analytical thinking. Mercury rules over the signs Gemini and Virgo and is a very airy planet, so the element for this card would be air. Some people associate the Magician card with the god Hermes, and those are the common associations with the Magician. Now we'll get into the symbolism on the card. The first piece of symbolism we're going to go over is the many tools of a skillful individual on the table laid out in front of him. If you notice, these tools are all the suits of the tarot: the pentacles, cups, swords, and rods, which all individually represent their own theme in life. The second piece of symbolism would be the wand in his hand that he's holding to the sky. This signifies divine alignment and inspiration. Remember when I told you that the Fool was at the beginning of his spiritual journey and he'll kind of interact with the Nexo characters? Think of this card as the Fool finally taking his first step to no longer be a fool and step into a spiritual path. Okay, and the last piece of symbolism we're going to talk about on this card would be the infinity symbol above the Magician's head, or the student's head, which signifies manifestation and unlimited potential. Now for some keywords that are commonly associated with the Magician in the upright position. Those would be willpower, desire, skill, resourcefulness, and manifestation. Okay, now getting into the overall meaning or the message of the Magician in the upright position. Remember, the Magician card you see here is the Fool who has now become a student with his tools of the four suits on the table. His hand pointed towards the sky tells us that everything external is aligned with the internal. The infinity sign also tells us that there are an infinite amount of possibilities and experiences we can create when we acknowledge the power of the four suits or our spirituality. And when you kind of start using those tools as a guide. The four suits represent earth, fire, water, and air, pentacles, wands, cups, and swords. Where there is a way, there is a will. Willpower is very big with this card. The Magician upright shows you that it's time to embark on a new adventure or journey, and with the right kind of willpower, great changes can be made. It tells us that the person this card could be representing or describing could be new to you, thrilling, proactive, skillful, a student or pupil, creative, someone with a world of potential basically. The Magician card has also been said to be a great tool for manifesting, or a great sign to manifest, or affirming your manifestations. And this is because the Fool has now turned into the student who is stepping into a spiritual journey. And remember, the external will always align with the internal. That's why a lot of spiritual people will tell you to be careful what you say about yourself, be careful about negative self-speech, and they tell you to use positive affirmations as well, because your mindset will affect the world, your external world surrounding you. So this card really tells us to learn something new, work on your knowledge, learn something like a new skill, learn something new about yourself, learn something new about your spirituality, and ultimately align yourself with your soul or with your spiritual path. Okay, now if you get the Magician upright in a love reading, this could mean starting a new skill, or your creativity could attract a new love, or you would meet someone through that new skill learning. It tells you to create opportunities to meet people and to mingle. If you get the Magician upright in a career or finance reading, it could mean that there is an opportunity waiting for you, or to tell you to create one if you need one. Determination is the key here. It can tell you to utilize your tools and skills for profit, the new ones that you've learned or the ones you already have, and maybe fine-tune them, or that now is a good time for new financial pursuits. All right, my loves, thank you so much if you made it this far. That was it for the Magician in the upright position. The next episode will have the Magician in the reverse position, and it will come out later today. The next card we're going to be going over is Major Arcana 2, the High Priestess. Remember, we have over 150 meanings within this deck to get through, so it's going to take a little while. So if you liked this and you want to keep learning, go ahead and give me a follow so you can keep up with my series. And if you'd ever like to book a reading with me, my Ko-Fi is in the description. Or if you follow, you can stick around and try and snag a free reading whenever I go live or whenever I give them out on a TikTok video. Thank you so much. Hope to see you next episode. Bye.